What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today. It is the 18th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $0.00294 with 4 hours and 28 minutes left in the day. We've seen a rather impressive wick to the downside in recovery. It's not the biggest wick, but just the fact that you came down and came back up like this today in this kind of double bottom, maybe even triple bottom territory is nice to see. It does have bullish implications indeed. I want to look at the short-term stuff and zoom back out and just see where we stand as far as this project goes. Are we at the low? Do we have lower to go? All those questions and more will hopefully be answered. Low to high here. The fact that we went just below the 786 is odd to me. I would think in this situation you'd go to your 886, so do be open-minded to 0.00256 being a possible target, but this recovery looks real. It looks real, man, so that makes me think that we're going to see some continuation after this. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame here. 1 hour RSI. It is bearish. Overall, it's bearish. We know it's bearish because predominantly most of your life is spent below the 50. Right? That just automatically means you're getting weaker signals, which means you're probably moving down, right? You keep projecting the 60. You're flirting with the oversold zone. You're not getting overbought at all. The fact that you should be, I would think you should be getting into the oversold zone, and you're just not doing it, tells me that you're bearish, but reluctantly so. So there is some buying pressure going on, I would assume, with this thing here. No bullish divergence or nothing. Stochastics look good. The MACD is about to cross above the zero. That's some bullishly implied things as well there. Do we find resistance here or not? I mean, we are overbought with the stochastics, to be fair. With the RSI, we're at the same areas we found resistance before. And with the MACD, we found resistance at the zero a couple times before, and we're there now. We might find some resistance here, and it's a lower high throughout this range. We might find some resistance here. Let's look at you with some volume. Yeah, and you're moving up as volume's decreasing. I would expect we do. We probably do find some resistance here and pull back perhaps to areas that we found support at before. 00289, we're at 00295 right now. So 00289, 288, somewhere in that area for support. High or low, and then we move up. That's the expectation there. We look at the 4 hour time frame. If we're expecting that we're going to see a short recovery and then some upside, the 4 hour should look bullish or have some bullish implications at least. Yeah, bullish divergence here. We're getting that move now. Stochastic suggests that we have more to go, and the MACD also suggests that we have more to go. So that's nice to see. I do believe that we are at a local low point, and then just looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, it does seem as though it's like a double bottom, right? You've got this kind of central point here. Might you be forming a W pattern? You just might be, and typically with these W's, or at least these double bottoms, whenever you get above the central point there, you do expect to continue a breakout. If this is a Eve and Adam pattern, or an Eve and Eve pattern, whatever it might be, Adam and Eve is V and U. Eve and Adam is U and V. So if we V-shape recovery out of here, it's an Adam. If we U-shape recovery, it's an Eve, whatever. The way that you'd measure this is you take the low to the high of the pattern, and then right here, what I call the nipple, whenever you get that measurement, you put the base of that measurement right there at the nipple, and that's your measure move. That should take you all the way up to about 0.00538, somewhere around there. I want to see if any fibs line up with this. If we take a high here to a low here, we've got the 1886200 level that lines up there. And of course it would be the 200 level, because from a high to a low, that is 100%. Yeah, of course it would be the 200 level. That makes sense. If you measure any high to low, it would be the 200 level, to be completely fair. So maybe not that fib. Let's look at look at the daily time frame, going from a high to a low here, and maybe this low, not the fake out low. That's right between your 786 and your 886 area. I could really see us going up there. I mean, who's to say we don't have to stop at the golden ratio? We could just bypass it and find resistance here first, consolidate back and find support at the golden ratio instead of resistance. If you guys hear my baby crying, that's just deal with it. I got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. All right. It's just a baby. Babies cry. Babies do that whenever even when they're happy sometimes. 00294. Maybe not. Looking at the 4 hour time frame here. Bullish divergence again on all these fronts. I think we already did this. I'm sorry. I don't need to go over this again. I'm very much under the impression that we have higher to go. And again, the measure move, if this is an Adam and Eve pattern, if we are to take it as such, would take us up to about 20538, somewhere there, which implies from the current price we have a 80% pump once we get above this point here. So getting above that point will be very nice to see. On the contrary to that, on the flip side, whenever you retrace, you've got a high to a low. So when you retrace your move down, typically you do expect to find resistance at the golden ratio. So even though we have a measure move of a potential Adam and Eve pattern that could take us all the way up here, there's a very realistic probability that we do find resistance at 0044 or 0045, I should say. So something between 0045 to 00538 is our next kind of target area. And I would actually change that again. I'm sorry. Let's even say to the 886 00555. Because, hear me out, the measure move is here. With the measure move, you can stop just below, but you could also stop just above. So there's a heavy emphasis on this 00513 area and a heavy emphasis on the 00555 area right here. Heavy emphasis here. But with the golden ratio, we should definitely mention that because you typically do find resistance there on the first attempt. So 0045 to 0047 is possible to find resistance at as well. Depending on where we stop, will also correlate with where we expect to find support over the coming days and weeks ahead, okay? I do expect that by the end of this month of November, Zebec will at least be above 0045. At least Zebec from here will, by the end of the month, it is the 18th now, we have 22 days left. No, I'm sorry. 12 days left. In less than 2 weeks, we should be back above 0045. That doesn't mean we close the month there, but I would expect that we at least interact with prices there by the end of the month, if not higher, okay? And as the year progresses, as we get into December and the end of the year, we should be approaching these prices, these long awaited prices of, let's just see, I'm going all Bobby Kennedy on you guys here, high to low of 3 to 8 cents. That's the expectation. And if it's not by the end of the year, that's fine. Maybe we're only here by the end of the year. But by the end of January, by the end of this move, I would expect that we're anywhere from 3 cents to 7.7 cents. That's the expectation, with a specific emphasis on this 6 to 4.5 cent range. Okay, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I very much am expecting Zebec moves higher. I'm not fazed by this at all. I hope none of you are. Overall, you have very good structure. I mean, it's a brand new chart, low market cap, but you've had a lot of time to accumulate here. Not a whole lot of selling pressure is what it looks like. I know that we're down at the base of this range, but there's just not a lot of volume. A lot more volume to the upside. I would think that we do push higher. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.